In this video, we will continue our mixed media tree. This is episode number 2. In our last episode, we made the leaves. This episode, we will be making the background and the tree. You will need watercolor paper and then some shade of brown paper. So our first step is going to be to paint the sky on our watercolor paper. Grab that watercolor paper, water, and some paint. First, I put down water all over my paper. And you want it to have like a shiny little gloss of water all over. We're going to use the wet on wet painting method. So I'm using wet paint on wet paper. Next, I'm going to grab my blue. I'm using a little bit of a lighter blue. You just kind of dab it on so that it looks like somewhat like clouds in the background. And since there's water on the paper, it will spread out the paint and it will give it a nice feathery cloud look, like one of those wispy cloud days. And it's an easy background that doesn't take long and it looks really nice in the end. So after you finish this, then you can just set it to dry. It's really quick and really easy and it'll look great. So we will clean our brush off and set this to dry. And now it is time for step 2. We're going to make the tree. So I'm going to show you what not to do first. Of course, in both versions, you will start by drawing the trunk of the tree. And you want to make the trunk of the tree slightly wider at the base and then widening towards where the branches are. And don't make those branches perfectly straight. Then I put a little V and I try to make these branches not perfectly straight, and I put another little V, dividing the branches each time. So this is creating our tree. This is the same way I will start what we are supposed to do, but I'm going to show you what makes this tree not good. So I continue dividing my branches with the V. But here you see I'm running into the next branch. Now on a real tree, they really do kind of overlap like this. And this looks great if I'm not going to cut this out. But the problem is, if I'm going to cut this out, do you see all those little spaces between the branches that my scissors are going to have a trouble getting into? Yeah, those are what I'm trying to avoid later because I don't want to have to cut all those little things out. That's going to make it so hard. So what I would suggest is not making your branches so tight. All those little spaces will make it hard. I'm going to flip this paper over. I'm going to show you how I would actually suggest to draw this tree. Again, starting with the base of the tree, nice wide at the bottom, getting wider for the branches, and then putting in V's to divide the branches into 2s. But you see how I'm keeping it looser this time. You want to keep the tree looser with not a ton of branches because it will make it more difficult on you if you draw it really tight where you have trouble getting your scissors in. Now, where something's going to go under another one, just don't draw it like it's going under. Leave it open like it's a branch that kind of got broken off or something. And that way your scissors can get into all of these spots. It's also a lot faster for you. There's the tree that I drew. So now I'm going to use my scissors to cut. See, on the other side, that tree would have been really hard to cut out, but this one is not near as hard. And I can easily use my scissors and turn my paper and get this tree cut out of the brown paper. Now, the branches do not need to be little at all. Like some of mine get pretty small, but yours could have been wider. And the reason is we're going to cover some of these branches with leaves, so you won't see all of them even. So they don't need to look exceptional. They don't need to be super skinny or anything like that. They can actually twist and turn a great deal because a real tree's branches oftentimes do twist and turn, and they are not perfectly straight. So I'm going to just speed this up here as I cut this out so that I save your creativity time. And that concludes what we need to do to complete this second part of the fall mixed media collage. Tune in next time for how to put it all together. Thanks for watching.